Okay, the pieces you will need for page 3 are as follows. Okay, buddy, you're in the way. Alright, so piece A is 5 inches by 11 inches, 5 by 11. Piece B, you need 2 of them, and they measure 4.5 by 7 3/8. Your C piece is 7 3/4 by 8. D is 7 by 11. E, you need 4 of them, and they measure 4.5 by 5. 4 of those. F is 6 by 4.5. And G is 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. Okay, so if you missed any of those, they are written as well in the PDF. And now we will get our scoreboard out. Okay, little bud. Come here, little buddy. Oh, my handsome boy. Begin by scoring piece A at half on the 11-inch side. So 11 is at the top, and we are scoring it at half. Okay, and then we are going to flip it over. Your half-inch score mark is still at the half-inch space, and we're going to score again at 5 3/8, 5.5, 10 3/8, and 10.5. Okay? Now each of your B pieces are going to be scored at half on the 4.5 inch side. That's one, and the other one. Okay, your C piece will be scored at half on the 7 3/4 inch side. Piece D, you're going to score at 4.5. Oh, it's on the 11-inch side, by the way. So 4.5, 9 1/8, and 9 1/4. Okay, so 4.5, 9 1/8, 9 1/4 on the 11-inch side. All of your E pieces will be scored at half on the 5-inch side. And your F piece will be scored at half on the 4.5 inch side. And lastly, your G piece will be scored at half on the 5 3/4 inch side. Okay, perfect. Scoring check. Now, as per usual, let's get some score tape on all of these. So just on the 1/2 inch sections, remember. Okay, and for instance, what is this? A, B. So this is our D piece. So D doesn't get, there's no half inch sections, so no score tape. Guess what the next step is? Of course, it is mitering our corners. Okay, so now we'll do that, and then we will fold and crease. I think A is the only one that has opposing fold marks that are going opposite direction. Everything else is pretty basic on the fold and crease. I just realized that I forgot A actually has 2 half-inch sections, one at either end. So it'll be on the valley side of this one, and then this one over here. You'll have to flip it over and put the score tape on the other side because it has the opposing score lines going opposite ways. Okay, so like that. That's where that one has the double score line, the gusset, and then that one on that side. All right. Now we'll get all these little bitties out of the way, and we will fold and crease everything. I'm going to do it off camera just because you can do it on your own, and then we'll come back and we'll put it all together. Okay, we are going to begin by taking your A piece. So this is how it should look folded, okay, with everything creased. Now we're going to remove the backing from this inner piece of score tape and do that. So you've still got this this half-inch flap here, but now this has just turned into like kind of a tube. So kind of put your thumbs in there and make sure that's really adhered. So now you've got that. Okay, and we are going to put this right at the bottom of your next base page. So grab your next base page. The Tyvek covered flaps are to the left, and we are going to, I'm going to eyeball it, feel free to measure, and we're just going to put it right down at the bottom of your base page, as centered as you can. Okay, and now you're going to open that up, and your 2 B pieces are going to go on either side of your base page, and they're going to meet in the center. Okay. So one on the left, and then one on the right. And these should meet pretty much perfectly in the center. Okay, so you've got your B pieces on the left and the right of your base page, and they meet in the center. Now you're going to open those up, and your C piece is going to go right at the top of your base page. So right at the top, making sure you don't go over any score lines. Make sure that everything still opens nicely. Okay, so your C piece is going to fold over top of your B's, but underneath your A. Okay, and now we're going to set this aside for just a second, and we'll put the other pieces together. Okay, so got your D piece. Okay, so the short flap, have the short flap at the top, and we are going to adhere our E pieces, kind of like an alternating waterfall. So one on the left, one on the right, one on the left, one on the right. Okay, so remove the backing from the first one, and doesn't matter which way you start, just put it on either the left or the right. Okay, and the next one is going to go on the opposite side. Or if you'd prefer, you could do them all on the same side. This is another one of those personal preference kind of scenarios. The next one is going to be butted up to the 1/2 inch section of that first one that you put down, just like we did in the beginning. Oops. And do the same again with this one. So this is your last E, butt it up against the second one you put down. So these are going to, I have them closing like this, alternating, okay? And then your F piece is going to go down here, centered, left to right. Okay, so you've got that piece there, and then these will be alternating, however you want to do that. Okay, now you want to add some magnets to keep all of this closed, so we'll add one to this F piece. And now you can, again, use swing tabs for most of these if you'd prefer. I'm going to use magnets, but feel free to do your own thing. Okay, so there's that one. Now I'm going to do the 2 inside E pieces, whichever way you want to do it. Okay, so there's the 2 inside ones. Now I'm going to do the 2 outside ones, outside E's. Okay, so there's that. Now I'm going to add 2 sets of magnets to close this up. Okay, there you have it. Now bring your base page back in, because this is going to go inside that little tube thingy that you've created, just like that. Okay, now your last piece is your G piece, and it is going to go right at the top of your base page, or not on top of the base, but on top of C, right at the top of C, and it is going to magnetize, or you could do a swing tab. I'm going to do a swing tab to the top of your tube thingy. Okay, so there we have it. That's your last piece, and I think I'm going to do a magnetized swing tab. I think I'm also going to put some magnets closing it here as well, just to make it a little bit more secure. You don't have to, I'm just adding a couple extras. And, sorry, off camera, there we go. So I'm just going to add a couple more sets here. You can use just that top flap to keep it closed, but I'm going to do a couple extras here. And then we will figure out what papers we're going to use. I'm gonna, since it is page 3, so I'm going to continue on with the dark blues, the oranges, the flowers and stripes that I had going on page 2. So I'm gonna get my papers all organized and be right back. Okay, so finishing decorating page 3. I decided against the magnetized swing tab. I decided to put the You Are My Sunshine from one of the borders instead. So going with the same, I'm wanting to coordinate these two together, right? So I've got some stripes and some orange and some of the flower paper. So I've already got this flower piece down. I'm going to put this striped piece down. I've done most of the, putting most of the papers on already, just because there's so many little pieces that I didn't want you to have to sit here and just watch me use my ATG gun forever. So I've done most of it already, but I'll kind of go slowly so you can see what I have done, and that way you can kind of, if you wanted to do the same, you can. Okay, so orange down here and orange up here. Okay, and then you open it up and I've got orange again, and then this goes up and orange again, and now do I want stripes or do I want this blue? Not quite sure on that yet, so let's open this up. So on either side I was thinking about doing these ephemera cards, and they weren't quite long enough, so I'm going to add some blue like kind of borders. On the inside I've got the flowers in a journaling spot, so I'm going to get some score tape on these. I love that Graphic 45, the ephemera cards are now, both sides are so pretty. You can really use either side. I love that. They've gotten way fancier. Okay, so I'm just going to put the two borders on first. So I'm going to put one at the top and one at the bottom. Oh, so that's that. And now I think I'm going to go with the stripes, just because I really like the stripes and I haven't done enough stripes, I feel. So I'm going to go with the stripes, but these look like they're just maybe a smidge too long. So I'm just going to trim off a tiny bit. And I don't think I've inked them yet either, so I'm going to ink them. So now when I'm inking stuff, I mean, it's not something that's necessary, but I find that it really adds that like vintage flair, especially with the Graphic 45 papers, because they already have that really, you know, 20s kind of vibe to them, the vintage vibe. So I like to add that extra little bit. This is how I do it. You can also kind of put the paper and like kind of in circular motion go right onto it, and that gives an even more of an inked edge. Okay, so let's try and line these up here. So just to recap, we have got, so on the front we've got the stripes, orange dots and the flowers. Open it up, orange stripe and orange. Open that up, we've got the ephemera cards and the flowers like that, and then the little booklet. I've already done the booklet, so I'm going to go slow just so you can see what I've done. So got some of the border strip there, and then some stripes. More stripes on the inside, and then stripes and orange. And then here I went solid, so blue, orange, and blue again. Okay. And then I just realized that I haven't actually done anything on the back. I'll probably put some orange on the back. I have to do that. Actually, I should do that while I'm thinking of it, shouldn't I? And you're basically done page 3. Yay! You could leave the back blank as well and just put a photo on there if you feel like it. But this works too. Okay, and that just fits in here. So there we go. So that is that. Excellent.